Hello everybody, welcome. This video is MVP, that for the minimal valuable product for the Apyvyra project. And this project, this is the URL, apyvyra.com. If you want to see all the details, you can follow this. But basically, I'm building a ERP from the scratch with the goal of help whoever is learning how to build like software, how to do a full stack application. This project decided to leverage the AI agent, so I build entirely using AI. So later on, I will make another video giving my experience. We already have some classes. Those 13 classes I was live in using the like AI tool like Copilot and then Cloud and then later Windsurf. And I realized that was boring because a lot of time was idle. I was asking and waiting for response and validate. There was a lot of pushback, and I realized it would not be a good experience. So I started this like 1 month ago. I decided to, okay, let me focus on building the project, doing the best as I can to make something useful. And then later on, I will come and explain what I did, and I will bring a few more videos explain the progress and give you my experience using AI because it's awesome. But we need to be careful how to use it. There is some tips that I learned that help me, and I think it's good to share. So first thing, in this documentation, there is a document called Getting Started. So the idea of this document is to allow anyone to understand the code implementation. So as you can see, we have like 4 projects here. One is called DevOps, is where we can initialize our database and then load some test data. The other one is the backend, the front end, and the database, of course. The database, we are using Postgres, but we could use anything that is a relational database, or not even. The backend, we use .NET Core Web API, and the front end is React. Pure React is without any extra framework or anything like that on top of React. Of course, we are using a lot of tools that is listed here, but this is the idea. So when you get the software, you need to install Node.js. I'm using the latest, and I will do my best to keep always the latest to make sure that we are following the progress of those softwares. .NET SDK, Core, of course, the last one, and Docker and Docker Compose. Um, there is a lot of details that you can read in the previous document that I'm going to skip in this one. Here is more like a demo. Imagine that I'm demo this project to my manager or some investor or someone that is going to use it. So, of course, you have to clone the repository. And after that, let's do this. I will open this and I will follow those instructions. Let me make this window smaller so you can read and do the stuff. So the first thing is, let's go to our folder, is code Apyvyra, and let's make this Docker. I should have it here read. I type just for the sake of the experience. Docker compose app minus d db. What I'm doing here, we have this configuration Docker to have a Postgres database running. So we have a class about that before. So if you want to, are curious how to do it, for this one we have. And then let's run it. It's funny because you no steps need to build because it's already built. But if you run again, you can see, oh, the container Apyvyra db1 is up. So the next we're gonna do is the DevOps project. So if you go, is a .NET Core console application. So if you go to DevOps, we can run that guy. Let me be lazy here. Let me copy and paste. I should, by this time, I should have typed it already. No? So what we're doing here, there is documentation for this. If you go to the project here, and then DevOps README, there is explanation about details. So basically, we're gonna use the same connection string we are using the backend. to connect to the database and create all the database running this script. So this script like drop all the tables and then create the existing table. So we're gonna have a fresh database to start our application. So when we do this, if there is no error, we're gonna have a warning message asking for yes to proceed. I'm gonna say yes. Then it's gonna ask for enter the admin email. In this case, I just put a fake email here and the password. So this we have a database. So we could, for example, go here in the Postgres and then connect that to that database. So let's go here. This is the database that's created. If I do any select, for example, select star from app user, I see that there is that, or I put email instead of admin. So I don't like that. Let's run again. See, I will run again, no problem at all. And then yes, it will be admin@email.com. And then the password, I put 1 up to 6. And then if I run the same query again, I see that there is this guy there. Of course, the password is encrypted. We have a class that I was showing this as well. This initial part, the fundamental are in those classes there. And now what you do is, let's go back here and where is it? Not this guy I want. Not this one as well. Let's go back to the document. Is this one here? Get started. Open preview. And then let's go to this guy. What we are doing here is I generate, not me, AI generate for me, a script to insert data. So we could have already something to try. So we don't need to put all the products, all the categories, all the images. So doing this, of course, is going to ask for confirmation because this is going to dump data into the database. So it's perfect for demo or initial setup or testing or evaluation. And then I run it. So right now, if we go to our database, it does not add an extra user, but if we go to product, for example, we can see that there is a big list of products. And there is some other tables that is filled as well. You just need to look at that script and see what the table that we're using. So now that we have our setup, we can start our application. So let's back here. Sorry, not that. So following the documentation, you need to install some dependencies. So we go to the front end, npm install, and to run the application in dev mode is the way that mostly we're gonna do, like to experience it. We have to initialize our Docker container for database. We already did. Then we'll, let me do this. I will split the window here. And this one, let me go up here and I go to the backend. In the backend, let me do this. I do this and put all the commands here. So as you can see in the backend, we'll do a .NET run watch. It's going to build the application and run locally here. So this will be our web API web server, and is running the port 5000. Next, we go to the front end. CD no, D is in Portuguese. We go here and then we run the npm run dev. This is our front end web server, and we can visit this page. Once that page, of course, I can log as admin. Is that why we set up admin when we initialize the database? I can come here and say admin@email.com, and then I put the unsecure password. And now I can see this is because the password is 126, and then Chrome is telling me about it. So as you can see, there is a dashboard, and then we can see the staff. Staff are like members of the team that is going to help us to manage the application. I can see the list of the products, and we can use like filter. This part, I guess, I don't think we have a class showing this, but we can search for anything. Like for example, USB. I see that there is a USB here, and then we can search. We can add some filters. We can clean the filters. and then we can do the paging and see whatever. All the paging is done in the front end. There is a talk about this that I did as well. We can see customer, there is no customer yet, and orders, there is no order yet. So now what you do, we will simulate by open a new browser tab, new window. I will open as incognito. It doesn't need to be incognito, but let's do this. And then local host 8080. So this, I'm landing the home page. So the home page is explained. This is all customizable. Of course, everyone that is going to use for their own company is going to change this. And I will log in. So in the log, oh, sorry, not login. Let me go back. I will sign up. And in sign up, let's call here customer1@email.com. And I will put a password. As you can see, this password cannot be a simple one. I have to follow those rules, and I will say so. And pay attention that as long as we are doing it, we are feeling this. So the user has a experience about if he's doing correctly. I hate when we are doing a password thing and we cannot follow up the rules that need to be applied. So what happened here is we follow a good practice that we get that, but we send an email to the customer. So right now we have application run like in dev mode, so we are not sending real emails, but we can come here to the backend console, and then the email is posted here. So for example, if you want to see how is that email, is a HTML. Oh, yeah, that is the HTML, and starting from here, and then we can copy that content so we can see what the user will see. And let's close this, copy, go here. I already have a file that I saved here before I download, so I edit this guy. Use K right as well. Save. So I can see what the user will see. So if I open this guy, this is the email that's gonna get. This email, there is a template for all the emails that we can edit. So in our folder here, everything is translated to multiple different idioms. So in our case, like if you go to the back end, there is this resource, and then do you see there is English US, and I already put in Portuguese Portuguese Brazil. So here there is a folder email templates. So these are the emails templates, and the application just fill up like those tags here. Let's show the example. See here, confirmation URL with the token. So what the user will do is going to go to that email, and it's going to, here, and it's going to click in that link. Where can I get that link? I can copy this guy. I will copy the URL, and I want to open as the new customer. So I go to this browser and I'll simulate the user click that. Once he clicks, I can see, welcome to Apyvyra, your account has been successful. All these messages are like translated, like I'm using the English version, but if you are using Portuguese, you see in Portuguese, and then I can go to login and log as that customer apyvyra.com, and then here the password I set up. So as soon as you log, you go to the web store. So this web store is very simple. It's all the data from in the product. We can do some filter here by category. We can filter by brand, manufacturing, or we can type something here. For example, let's only see about books. And then I want to see books of, let's see if there is a word here that more than one has. So home, something about home. Okay, there are two. So let's get those two books. I'm very interested in at home. As soon as you add something, go to the cart. We can reset the filter. Maybe we can buy something else. This. Imagine that we are a good customer. And this as well. So I can go to the cart and then do some change or some validation here. I can increase, decrease, or even remove some items from here. And when I'm okay, I can proceed to checkout. One thing here is that initially I decided to have integration only with the Stripe because I did some research. Stripe is the most common like payment solution out there, but there is other ones like for example Shopify. So what happened is as we are running dev mode, we are bypassing the real Stripe. So when we go here to the proceed to checkout, we are, oh, sorry, before we go there, like here we are using Google API, Google Maps API to validate the address. But the same way, when someone is going to use this application, there is documentation in the application about this, like even in the same document here, if you keep following, there is explanation about the translation, there is explanation about the payment system, because for real, you need to go to Stripe, create an account, get your secret and public key, put in our app config, and then deploy your application. In this project, I am in no business to sell this or host. It's out there so everyone can use it. So the company can, any small company or even consulting uh, person can use it. So everyone has to set up your own payments like system. If you are going to use Stripe, later on I can add it, like if anyone requests, I can add anything else. But for now, you need to get your keys. So in Stripe, you can get an account as a test mode. You just get information put here. And please, no, don't commit any code with your keys there. I guess everyone knows about this. This information has to be out of source control. You have to protect because someone else can use those keys. And then there is some card that we can test. There are two ways to test the Stripe. One is by mocking it. So there is a here, if you put like mocking 2, we are not using Stripe at all. If you say mock false but testing true, you have to set up your account and then put this information here because a real call is going to be made to the testing server of Stripe. And if you use those cards, this one will always be a successful payment, and this one will be a payment decline. Okay? The same thing for the Google Maps here, address verification. When it's for real, you have to set up an account, and you need to get your API key, and you're gonna change this mock address validation to false. Google Map is very good for small business because they allow like a lot of calls for free. I guess 1,000 per month. So it's something I was thinking like to go very cheap, and this is the idea. You're only gonna have trouble if your application is being used a lot. You have like thousands and thousands of customers making orders, so that is good. I hope you have to pay for Google Maps because that means your business is going very well. And when you go to production mode, you have to enable this, and that's it. And by the way, of course, the JWT, we already have a video explaining this, you have to set up your key in the app config as well. And of course, you cannot share this key to anyone. So once you are there, I put like one address there, 123 Main Street, San Diego, California. Here we are in the dev mode, so we are not calling Google Maps because we are mocking it just for the demo, just for the testing, but later on it's just a matter of enable. If for some reason the address is new, Google cannot validate it, the user has the option to bypass it because we don't want to lose a sale because something is wrong with the address. I remember that once when I moved to Canada, I bought a house in a new expansion area, and for several months, Google didn't have our postal code, our address, because it was still being set up. And to avoid the situation, we don't want to avoid to lose a customer because we cannot validate. So of course, this I'm gonna click validate. After the validate, we can proceed to the payment. And there is some notes here that sometime I can say, oh, the dog is friendly. And there is a short description of the items here, and then I can proceed to payment. This is where the payment is mocked for real. Here will be like a component from Stripe. We don't touch any credit card, anything, or any bank information. Everything is done by this component from from the Stripe. That is the beauty. It's very I was impressed how easy it is to integrate it, because you just need to import a library for the back end, for the front end, put your keys in that app config, and then it's done. Of course, you have to go to the Stripe website, create an account, initially set up a testing account so you don't pay for anything. So then you can test your application. And later on, you change for the real one. And then, like I say, complete with the payment. When we do this, there is something interesting as well. The user is going to receive, the customer is going to receive an email about this order. So if we go here, like the other case, we can, because right now we are in test mode, we're not sending the real emails. We are saving it in the log so we can get it from here. Let's copy. Let's go back here. Go to this. I save it. And let's open just to take a look how that email will be. Order confirmed. All this is a template. So every language, every company, they can change this a little bit. And then now, if we are the admin, let's see, this is the admin. If we go to orders, I will see that new orders. And then the status of the order, there is like a workflow that is defined in the document as well. So is a new order, I guess he is showing, oh, sorry, let me go to orders. Payment pending, oh, payment succeed. And then I can move on, because if the customer is looking like in the order, observe that is there and is order start paid. Now what happened? The admin or staff will go there, check that order, see the details. Like if you click here, you can see the details of the order. It's going to see if everything is fine, if there is no fraud, if everything is okay, and say, okay, let's take it. I will update the status and I will set as confirmed. If by any chance the customer go to the website and reload the page and go to my orders, it's going to see that the order status confirmed. I change this because here is the ID, not the text. So this should just say confirmed. It's a bug that they're going to fix. And now the admin is going to go here. Oh, let me change the status to processing. So, okay, we have, it's confirmed, it's good, but now we are going to process. I have to get in the warehouse or wherever you have to buy the item, I don't know, and I will update the status. The same thing, the customer will come here, reload, go to the order and see that processing. Now we're gonna do the final steps. Not the final step, the last final step is shipping. We put, and we can give some notes as well. We can see, this is your, I just say, how they call confirmation number or tracking number. Or something like this. Maybe something contact your ETA, like 1/15/2026, and then update status. When we do this, the customer will receive an email with that confirmation and with that information. So if we go here, because the email is not being really sent, it's just in the logs, we can get this guy the same way. Copy it, and let's put it, let me move this here, sorry. I say, let's go back here, and this is what the user will receive in the email. Your order has shipped, and that information is here, tracking number, and then ETA. Or anything. And now you get this email, so it's fine. It doesn't need to go to the website to see the status. And now if I am the admin, I should be able to go to the orders and see the order. And then there is the dashboard showing what is going on. There is a bug here. Was supposed to be showing the total revenue. Let me reload it to see what is going on. Yeah, it's a bug. It was supposed to show there is one order and the total of that order. And here, sorry, I'm done. It's shipped. It's not completed yet. So is that why it's not showing total revenue? Because until the customer receive it, and I say, oh, okay, it's fine, the order is not completed. So I can see that in my revenue, this order is here. So when I go to the orders and then I say, oh, this order is completed. Now, my bad, we can go here and see, okay, I have this total revenue and I can see how many orders I do have, how many customers this month, and how many are active customers. Yeah, that was the idea of this application. So it's already like, of course, is the first MVP, but it's fully functional. And another thing is, for example, I could go to our application. Let me go here. Oh, sorry, I opened it wrong tool. And I designed in a way that we can easily translate them. So do you see that in this web config application? Where is it? Here is showing, where is it? I'll find it soon. Here, location. I put now PT, Portuguese, here, BR from Brazil. And I add many languages there because do you see this folder? Where is it? Oops, resource. This, every component is gonna have like its name and all the string that is being used there. So that is the idea. If I reload my application, I stop this and reload. I should, the way that I design is every application have one main language. If one company want to offer multiple ones, it can have different deployments. So if I reload this guy, see, this is translated to Portuguese already. So if we go to my, maybe not everything is correct, but yeah, it's translated. So that is the idea, is multi-language, is single tenant, like every deployment is just for one company, because that was my initial goal. Every company has the ability to host the way that they prefer and not share the data with anyone else. So yeah, that is it. That is the main overview. I love how AI helped to create documentation, but you have to be careful because not all is good. You have to review a lot. And every time you see all those symbols, see all those emojis, is built by AI. I don't want to hide that. That was even the goal. And if you go down here, let's go to the main documentation, this guy. Let me open the preview. And you can see there is multiple documents here, explain some architecture, like definition. Like there is one class explain about this one, about the DevOps, and paging filter, and let's see what is interesting. Oh, no, I guess this is it. So this get started. I try to make sure that we cover everything that you need to run the application, understand how it works, and even like the email, valid or email templates, and then the Google Maps API, because you are using third-party Google Maps, and then email server that you have to set up instead of just writing the console. The email will be sent for real. Oops, sorry. And then the Stripe. Okay, that is it. I hope you like, enjoy it, and maybe help to share. See you. Bye.